Hi everybody, it's Miss Shepherd. I'm back again to talk you through the plan for this coming week. I'll be out due to military service, but not to worry. I've got some pretty cool things in place that I think that you're going to really enjoy. As we know, for our informational text, we've been addressing guiding questions or themes throughout the unit. Each week, we talk about something different within the realm of informational text or nonfiction. This week's guiding question is going to be, should athletes be considered as role models? Every day this week, we're going to look at a professional athlete who in some way helps us to think about or examine that question. First in the lineup is going to be somebody that I think everybody knows a little bit about. Most of us are familiar with this young man because he's a member of the Legion of Boom and also the Seattle Seahawks. He is widely known to be the individual who solidified his team's spot in the 2014 Super Bowl by completing a game-winning block at the very end of this game. We know this man to be Richard Sherman, and in just a moment I want you guys to take a listen to Richard Sherman's comments following that game-winning block at the end of this game, right before going to the Super Bowl.
Well, I'm the best corner in the game. When you try to with a sorry receiver like Crabtree, that's the result you're going to get. Don't you ever talk about me.
After that game, clearly Mr. Sherman was very enthusiastic and very energetic and very passionate about what happened between him and the other player, Mr. Crabtree. You guys, though, are going to be reading two opposing articles about Richard Sherman's behavior in that game, and his behavior and his comments made directly following the game. Now, for those of you that would like to hear or see the interview one more time, if you're not given time in class to watch the clip, know that I am going to also attach a link to a helpful clip in the video blog post that will accompany this video. Also, keep in mind that as you're reading, you want to take some time to think about what the most important things are that each of the authors that we're going to be reading, what is the most important thing that each of those authors is trying to say. So we understand that Mr. Sherman made a game-winning block. We understand that at the very end of the game, he made some comments that caused people to react in very different ways. And what you are going to do on Monday is complete those two articles as you're reading. This is going to be your assignment. I've made a little example here in my journal. As you're reading, you are going to complete Cornell notes on both of the texts. Now we know what Cornell notes look like. I set up some here in my notebook. You all are actually going to be given a worksheet with Cornell notes already set up, so you don't need to put them in your journal. And you're going to submit those Cornell notes to me. A couple of things are going to need to happen. First, up top here in your work, you can see that I've labeled the type of reading that I'm doing. Now, I know that I'm going to start reading news articles about Mr. Sherman. That's the type of informational text that I'm going to be looking at. So you want to make sure that on the top of your paper and your Cornell notes that you're also labeling the type of informational text that you're looking at. If you're reading a news article, you want to write that down. If we're reading a memoir, we want to write that down. We want to make sure, though, that we're properly labeling our informational text so that we know how to identify it in the future as we read it. The title of each text that you're going to be reading has already been written at the top of your work, but you know enough to write the title at the top of your work, as I've also done here. Now, off to the left side, what I'm going to be reading for is going to be the central idea. And what I'll do is every 2 or 3 paragraphs, as we've done in class and as we practice this many, many times, I'm going to stop and I'm going to ask myself, what is the most important thing the author wants me to know? And once I'm able to answer that question within my own mind, based on what I've read, I'm just going to write it down. So an example might be in one of the articles that the author begins by saying that Richard Sherman's comments were inappropriate and unnecessary. So once I've written that down, I can keep reading and continuing to annotate whatever it is that I'm reading in that particular text. Like I said, you want to take this opportunity to really get into what the authors are saying and what is important about what they're saying. At the very end of your text, or at the very end of your notes, excuse me, there's going to be an opportunity for you to create a sort of summary. But your summary is not going to be your standard summary. I don't want to know what happened in the beginning and the middle and the end. I don't want to know that. What I do want you to do is take the notes that you've compiled, take the notes that you've listed out here as you read the text, and I want you to, based on those notes, determine what you think the overarching central idea is for the entire text. Of all the things that you've read, you don't necessarily need to select. You might have to add together. But what is the most important message that the author is trying to get you to understand based on what you've read and the notes that you've taken? That's what you're going to be doing twice for this assignment, for both of the texts that you're going to be reading about Richard Sherman. Again, keep in mind that if you'd like to see the video, it will be available in class for you. And if for whatever reason you have issues seeing it, it's 30 seconds long, and I'm going to attach it for you to this video blog as well. You guys know that if you have any questions of me at all, you can always send me an email. You know my email. Or you can leave me a message on Twitter at Miss Sheps, or you can leave me a message on this video blog post, and I'll try to answer it as soon as possible. Thank you guys so much for your time. Thank you for watching. I hope that you enjoy tomorrow's work, and I'm interested to hear what you're going to say and what your opinions are going to be. Have a good night. Talk to you soon. Bye.